Hello, beautiful sacred souls. So, what does healing actually look like when your nervous system gets activated? I want to share something really personal today, not as a story of drama, but as an example of what real healing and integration looks like in the body. Recently, I had an interaction around a professional project that activated my nervous system very strongly. And instead of bypassing it or intellectualizing it or pushing through, I chose to listen to my body and work with it. I want to say this clearly. Being activated does not mean that you did something wrong. It doesn't mean that you're weak, unprofessional, or too sensitive. It means your nervous system detected a threat, often a relational one, especially if you have a history of boundary violations or unmet needs. Let me share what this activation looked like for me. It was a surge of anger and sadness, heat in my solar plexus that felt like shame, feelings of self-doubt and thoughts that I was imagining things, feelings of being unsafe and unseen. Then I cried and my body began to shake. And I want to pause here because the shaking is important. Shaking after crying, especially when you're warm and grounded, is not a breakdown. It's actually the body in a completion response. In animals, after a threat passes, their body shakes to discharge excess survival energy. Humans do this too, unless we were taught to suppress it. So instead of stopping the shaking, instead of stopping the crying, I wrapped myself in warmth. I ate food to ground. I let my body shake. I let my tears flow. I slowed my breath, and I reminded myself that the threat had passed. This is the difference between re-triggering, looping in the story, and integration, letting the body complete the process. I didn't try to fix my feelings. I didn't rush to explain or justify myself. I didn't override my body with logic. I let the wave move through. Once my nervous system settled, clarity returned. And from that clarity, I made a grounded decision to step back, complete what I needed to complete in the project, and to disengage from the dynamic that didn't feel safe or aligned. That's not punishment. That's self-respect. I also want to name something important. This experience wasn't just about the present moment. When we have early relational trauma, present-day situations actually activate old, unfinished nervous system responses. But the good news is, every time you meet the activation with presence, safety, and boundaries, you are changing the pattern. This time, my body didn't get stuck. It completed. This time, I didn't give in to the imbalance. I honored my truth. So if you're watching this and thinking, why do I react so strongly? Why does this feel bigger than it should? Why am I shaking or crying? I want you to know, nothing is wrong with you. Your body is trying to protect you. And when you listen, it learns that it no longer needs to. Healing isn't about never being activated. It's about knowing how to come home to yourself when you are, and how to have boundaries when you are activated. If this resonated, you're not alone. And your body is wiser than you were ever taught to believe it was. Today, I'm sharing a real example of nervous system healing activation discharge, and integration with boundary clarity. This is what healing looks like in real life. Not perfection, but presence. If this resonates, I hope you'll consider following me on social media or YouTube. I hope you'll consider my online course based on my book, The Divine Within, Healing Ourselves to Heal the World. Or I invite you to read my book, which bridges spirituality, psychology, and neuroscience and offers exercises such as this to help you learn how to heal and integrate so that you too can have boundaries and release what gets triggered. Sending you deep love and appreciation for where you are on your healing journey. Know you are not alone.